Welcome to 5 and 5 from the One Stop Co-op Shop, where we discuss 5 key elements of a game in about 5 minutes. I'm Michael Kelly, and today I'm looking at the Kilforth series, including Gloom of Kilforth and Shadows of Kilforth. Quick disclaimer that I was sent a review copy of Shadows of Kilforth, but I procured Gloom of Kilforth myself. I'm always happy to try out new adventure games, and this one was recommended by Colin, so I was excited to give it a try. But does the solo and co-op play rise to the ranks of greatness here? Let's find out and get to the list. We'll start with a pro at number 5, and that's the possibility for Emergent Story in the gameplay. While your final goal at the end of the game is to defeat one or more ancient enemies, before they get to that point, each player will be following their own individual saga. And these sagas have the players searching for certain types of rumors and assets to level up and become ready to face the ancient. These little quests give a lot of fun chances for Emergent Story if you want to engage in that. Figuring out how the monk you saved in a tavern and the troll you defeated in a mountain combine to help you charm a river spirit can really be a lot of fun, again, if you want to think through it. But we have a mix coming up next with our number 4, and that's the varied challenges you'll face in the game. As you move around the location cards, you'll have different types of encounters, and they'll each use one or more of your character's 4 attributes to determine your success. And a nice part is, except for enemies, which only make up 1/4 of the encounters, you won't be fighting. You'll be charming people, or sneaking around, or figuring out things with your mind. And for me, it's refreshing in a game of this genre that fighting is not the be-all, end-all, that lots of things your character might be good at can be helpful to you winning the game. But the reason that this is a mix for me is that at the end, when you face the ancients, you will always have to have a big fight, and combat becomes the only thing that matters. And this both goes against the fun variety you had earlier in the game, and can also make your character feel misleveled if suddenly they don't have a lot of fighting when they've been focusing on other things beforehand. We have another mix at number 3, and that's the random resolution and dice rolling in the game. The basic resolution in the Kilforth series is a lot like Arkham Horror, in that you roll a certain number of d6 dice, and every 5 or 6 gives you a success. On the positive side, there's some nice choice and mitigation in this. Most of the encounters you have, you can spend several actions building up your successes, and you have the ability to call on fate once per round, which gives you an automatic success. But on the negative side, as always, bad dice rolling can be very frustrating, especially when you've spent 3 of your 4 actions for a turn building up successes, and then you just come up short on your last action and your entire turn was wasted. And this gets even worse with bad luck in combat, but let's save that for our number 2. And speaking of number 2, it's a full-on con, and that's how the game pairs hit points and action points. Each character starts with 4 hit points. They'll gain more as they level, and at the beginning of each turn, you get as many action points to spend as your current hit point total. So if you're injured, you'll get less than your normal 4. And that already can feel pretty punishing. If you had a really bad turn and suddenly you have only 1 or 2 action points, and by the way, it costs 1 action point to heal a health and get more actions back for next turn, you can get into a cycle where you'll waste 2 or 3 turns sometimes just getting yourself back to full health. But even worse than that, every time you lose a health on your turn, you immediately also lose an action point. So if you have a bad roll in combat, as I mentioned earlier, you could go from having 3 more actions in your turn to having no actions, and the rest of your turn is basically gone. But we're going to bookend this review with another pro, and that's the sense of exploration and leveling you get in the game. I love the ways you upgrade in the Kilforth series. So first of all, whenever you defeat an encounter, you can choose to get a reward card, and those cards will tell you a location to go to actually get the item or spell or ally you want. Like, hey, there's an amazing sword in this mountain, go find it. That's already a fun and unique element that makes the game feel more special than just one where you might go to a town and buy a sword. But on top of that, as you complete your saga, you get special level ups based on your class. And when you fully finish your saga, you flip it over and get a really powerful bonus from that. And these upgrades aren't just dice bonuses, they'll also give you free actions and let you teleport around and let you do really cool things, automatically defeat certain types of encounters. It's exciting, varied, and fun, and hey, isn't that what we're looking for in an adventure game anyway? I think so. Overall, Kilforth was a bit of a mixed experience for me. A few of my early games got into a death spiral where I would lose a bunch of hit points early and have to waste a lot of time healing. But as I played more, I made more use of hiding to avoid fights, and going to the places where fights weren't as common, and being kind of more intelligent with fulfilling my sagas, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot more. But that being said, if you hate randomness, if you don't like lost actions or the possibility of wasting an entire turn, this might be one to be careful of. But if you enjoy adventure games, exploration, fun character leveling, and a lot of nice tactical choices, this could be a winner. A couple additional notes. First of all, the game works awesome single-handed solo, but it's also a lot of fun co-op. Now, you do have to be careful playing co-op because if one player gets hit really hard, they could feel frustrated that they have to wait a while before they get to take actions again. But the great interplay of characters and how I can go fulfill your rumor and get it to you because I'm better at fighting than you are and help you fulfill your saga is really fun. Also, one final note, Gloom of Kilforth and Shadows of Kilforth are both total standalones. But if you want my suggestion for which one to go for first, I would go for Gloom of Kilforth. It has kind of more standard fantasy tropes, but it also has more simple effects, more straightforward things, whereas I found Shadows a little bit more complicated and tough to deal with. Good gaming, everyone, and I'll see you at the next stop.